Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down some industry headlines, and to provide some actual insight into what all of this information means. This is your first time listening to this show. Welcome. Again, any of my content, whether it's the live show or it is the Coffee with the Freight Coach podcast, is brought to you by transportation professionals. There is no theory on here. Everybody is active in the day-to-day. I myself have been in freight for the last 15 years. I am active in this industry, as will all of my guests, because at the end of the day, you guys, I want to keep people in business. It is one of the many reasons why I proudly fly this American flag behind me every single day, because I'm living my American dream, and I want to help each and every one of you live yours as well. And frankly, it's the greatest fucking nation on earth as well, as we should all be flying that flag behind you. Before we get into anything today, obviously there's a big day out there in the world. Got to give a shout out to my friends over at VHub. You guys, vhubapp.com. We need to hit them up because we all need access to trailers, right? Whether you're a broker, carrier, or shipper alike, we all need them, especially right now with rising costs. An operation, a small fleet should never have to shut it down because they are in the shop with their trailer. And the best part about it, you get paid to do this, you guys. So what they're working on right now, Paragould, Arkansas to Delta, British Columbia. You get paid $1,850 to move that. Now that is on top of the freight that you can put in the back of that trailer. So again, additional revenue. San Diego, California going to Selma, Texas, $1,500 to do that. That's a reefer. San Diego, California going to Millbury, Ohio, $600 to do that. And then for all my friends up in Canada, Milton, Ontario to Montreal, Quebec, $250 Canadian to move that. So hit them up, you guys, vhubapp.com. My friend Xavier Campos and Stacy Steen, they'll be in the audience, you guys. Just do me a favor. Let them know that the Freight Coach sent you. All right, give them some shout outs. Comments are already going. Zach Williams, what's up, baby? Let's fucking go. If you guys want to become an independent freight agent, hit up Zach, SPI Logistics, you guys. Join the crew. Join the crew over there. April, good morning to you. Happy Take Our Country Tuesday. Oh, yeah. Marlo Hutchinson, good morning, all. Pat Green, let's fucking go. Can't wait for the knowledge drop you're bringing us this Tuesday. I appreciate that. Aaron, good fucking morning. Get your ass out there and vote today, people, she says. And Sunny Sharma, good fucking morning. Orange shirt gang, let's fucking go. It's a thing. As I mentioned yesterday, I thought that was awesome. I had a couple of people tag me in some photos that they're rocking the orange shirt gang. It's a movement, you guys. It's a thing. And to Aaron's point and April's point today, you guys, it is election day today. Get out there and vote. I was in line at 6 o'clock this morning to get my vote in because I got a busy day ahead. Again, you guys, I'm in the day-to-day with all of you guys. I'm building up companies, and I needed to make sure that I got out there and voted today. And you need to exercise that. It doesn't matter if you show up and the lines are long, your vote counts. If you show up and there's, one of the machines is down, vote. Stay in line and vote, you guys. Exercise this. I'm not going to tell anybody how to vote. My personal opinions are pretty obvious, you guys. I'm very pro-America. I'm very pro-freedom. But if you don't like the way things are being done, get out there and vote. Exercise your right, your God-given right as a free citizen of the United States of America. Get out there and do that, you guys. We owe everybody who's paid that ultimate sacrifice to give us the ability to still have a voice. We got to get out there and fight and take our country back. This is a country of the people, for the people. All right? Not the establishment, not the politicians. They work for us. Let's fucking remind them of that. If you're not happy of the way that your state or city or wherever you are is performing right now, vote the motherfuckers out and put the right people in there that you see fit. Because, again, you guys, it's the greatest nation on earth. All right. Cody, what's up? Good morning to you, sir. Good jolly morning, he says. I love that. Julia, what's going on? Let's go. Good morning. She's got the flag out there in her profile. Let me see here. Erica, it's all right. You're still on time. You're within the 5-minute window that I give all of the, I'm just kidding, you guys. Pop in and join. I know you guys are all out there working and hustling with me there. All right. We're at day 152 of the Freight Coach Tally, you guys. We all know what that means. 152nd live show that we've done. And it's also a subtle reminder that there is a truck parking issue as well as a facilities issue that's out there. If you're sitting down and you're talking to drivers, they don't even have access to bathrooms at some places. We got to fix that, you guys. We got to fix the core core fundamentals of this industry if we're going to continue to attract talent in. And, frankly, it's the greatest industry on earth. We are the backbone of the United States economy. The blue collar worker are the real heroes in this country, outside of our troops, obviously. But you know what I mean when it comes down to it. And we got to get out there and we got to make those subtle improvements because it comes from us as transportation professionals. Nobody's coming to save us. No one's coming to fix anything. We have to do it ourselves. And, I'm dedicated to that. I'm dedicated to being the change for this industry. That's fine by me. Also, another subtle reminder that fuel went up again. So fuel is at $5.33 a gallon. Again, common theme, you guys. If you don't like gas prices, go vote. Let me see here. Yeah, so it's up $1.60 year over year. I get all of this information from the EIA. You guys, EIA.gov. If you ever want to go and cry a little bit, you can go and check out the chart because they give a week-by-week price breakdown comparison for the last essentially 30 years. So you can see the fluctuations very clear on what's out there. Again, I get that. And again, it's like, what can you do with this information? Right now, if you've never bid out a fuel surcharge before, this information can help you understand what a fuel surcharge is. It also does not look like diesel prices are going to go down anytime soon, unless for some reason they ultimately start opening up all of our pipelines and start drilling for oil again in our country, which they should do, but that's a conversation for another day. So again, what can you do with this information? This is going to help you for all of those that are out there bidding right now in RFP season. Okay. If there's a fuel surcharge, this is going to help you understand it. If they ask, or if they're asking you to bid in fuel, this is going to help you understand it. This is going to help you understand the difference between a line haul plus fuel bid as well. So you guys get out there and do this. And then furthermore, for all my drivers that are listening right now, Trucker Tools on their app, which is free to you guys, it gives the most cost-effective fuel stops on your route. Okay. So hit them up, you guys. Let me see here. Zena, what's up? Good morning to you. No, it's all good, Erica. Again, you get a pass. Sunny Sharma, yeah, dude, I agree. I need to drink more coffee. I need to get a little bit more wired. Xavier, what's up, man? Freight Coach Nation is right. Good morning to you, sir. All right, let's do, since this is a solo show, we always do a little lane breakdown here. And I'm going to just pull up a random city right now. So we're going to go outbound Dallas, Texas flatbed. And we are going to go into inbound Indianapolis, Indiana. And we are going to look at what this looks like. All right. Outbound Dallas flatbed right now, very tight capacity. There is 5,100 trucks to 36. There's 5,100 loads to 3,600 trucks. So if you're a driver with a flatbed in Dallas, you can get your money out of that market today. And just based off of this information and knowing the seasonality of it, that's probably going to be slowing down. So again, get your money while you can out there. And then we also have going inbound Indianapolis. There is 6,900 loads to 8,800 trucks that are going in there. So again, how does that affect your pricing? As a carrier, if you're a true broker, you're out there looking to get your carrier reloaded in some of those markets. And this is going to help you with pricing out some freight for them as well to get them into a profitable region. And when there is 8,800 trucks to 7,000 loads, obviously there's more trucks to freight that's out there. So again, that's going to probably keep the pricing pretty steady with the difference that's out there as a whole. But again, that's one of those fun markets for you to get some money in. And then also for inbound Dallas right now, there is any of the trucks going into Dallas for flatbeds. There's 1,500 loads to about 2,500 trucks. So again, tight capacity that's out there, and the fact that there is not enough loads for all the trucks that are sitting into that market. Again, so price accordingly if you are going into that market. And then outbound Indianapolis right now, there's a shitload of freight for flatbeds in the Great Lakes region. Holy Jesus. We got 17,000 loads to 14,700 trucks. So again, more loads to trucks. You know how that goes out there. So that's moderately tight capacity. That's it for our little market report there, you guys. If do you guys like that when I do that little bit of a breakdown, just pull up random cities, let me know. Drop that in the comments if you guys are fans of that, and I'll continue to do that. I'm going to continue to do it anyways because it helps us all stay sharp. But if you guys enjoy that little insight, I'm definitely down to doing that more. Sonny says, just a reminder, Zems Inc. is hiring. Hit up Sonny. You guys, I think he said yesterday he was hiring for operations and sales. And that is a reminder. If you guys are hiring or your companies are hiring or you're looking for a job, drop that information in the comments, you guys. Let's connect with people. If you're a sales rep, Freight Coach Logistics is hiring sales reps right now. Okay. If you want to come work with me and my team and do some pretty special shit, hit up your boy in the DMs. All right. Let me see here. Drew Driscoll says Axel is always hiring in Knoxville and Chattanooga. Holler at him with some questions. Axel's solid, you guys. Be a good company to get involved in as well. Garrett Bowers has Dr. Pepper lanes from DFW for days. Vans. Hit him up, you guys. Garrett Bowers has freight outbound Dallas for some Dr. Pepper, which is a delicious soda. I haven't had that in a long time because I'm trying to watch my figure, but I like where your head's at, Garrett. And Erica Hamilton says yes. All right. Okay. Oh, the lane stuff. Sorry. Yeah. I was like, that's an emphatic yes out of nowhere. But hey, now my brain caught up with my mouth there. So we're good to go. I will gladly continue to do that stuff for you guys. All right. First article we're going to break down. Excuse me while I take a sip of my Black Rifle coffee, which I'm a coffee club member of. And Black Rifle, if you're finding yourself on that, hit your boy up. All right. Coffee is the mainstay of this podcast, as well as the coffee with the Freight Coach. So just putting it out there. Hint, hint. Anyways, ttnews.com, clouded outlook for global freight. I love the angle that we're taking already. Describing global supply chains as volatile for the past 2 years is an understatement. Bottlenecks, inventory imbalances, and soaring costs contributed to industries and consumers worldwide experiencing negative ripple effects. Glimmers of hope are emerging, but anxiety grows on whether freight volumes can maintain traction amid high inflation and economic uncertainty. Supply chain disruptions are not over, but they are easing, resulting in things moving more fluidly and generally at lower costs, said Tim DeNoyer. He's the VP and senior analyst at ACT Research. Ocean shipping, a leading indicator of global conditions, is a much different market this year than we saw the last 2 years. Shipping costs are pulling back from historic highs, and spot rates for ocean containers dropped 61% year over year, according to Freightos Baltic Index. And for the week up ending in September 23rd, slowing demand in the U.S. freed up capacity and loosened the tight market. The amount of cargo at sea to the U.S. is 30% lower compared to 2021. And the spike in freight rates in 2021 is stabilizing due to slow demand. And then the severe backlogs that plague the West Coast ports and stranded billions of dollars of goods are clearing. We have substantially mitigated the bottlenecks that we were experiencing earlier. And back in January of this year, we had about 109 vessels to get into the port of LA. And then that number is now into the single digits. He credits three main factors: the White House appointing an envoy last fall. Okay. Implementing pop-up ports at inland yards for excess container storage, and extending hours of operations. The San Pedro Bay also proposed carrier dwell fees for each train or truck-bound container. I'm not declaring complete normalization, however, on the road. I don't want to give the credit to the White House. I want to give credit to the hardworking men and women of the ports who took care of this, because let's call it what it is. It's the frontline workers who took care of this. So let's make that a point right here. So a shout out to all the frontline supply chain professionals who eased this bottleneck. No fucking committee who couldn't even tell you what a 40-foot or a 20-foot container did anything to do with that. They came, they talked about it, and they left. And the people on the ground are the ones who were actually executed upon that. And as we all know, execution is the only thing that matters. Anyways, some of the problems have shifted to the East Coast ports. Obviously, people diverted freight to those because of the bottlenecks that were out there. Let's go to trucking and rail. The geographical shift in container port traffic affects rail and trucking companies as well. Those primarily serving the West Coast generally saw their volumes drop this year, and vice versa on the East Coast. Changing consumer buying patterns have thrown off international supply chains, creating inventory imbalances. The changes are also causing very different demand patterns for transporters. Another consumer purchasing shift currently is occurring is consumers return to spending on services instead of goods. This post-pandemic market renormalization is contributing to softening transport demand. Let me see here. Some retailers are still receiving product they ordered long ago and experiencing overstocks, while other products like semiconductors remain in short supply, and supplier delivery times remain lengthy. And that is uncertain when capacity constraints, including landslide bottlenecks in trucking and warehousing, could impact. Trucking volumes did rise in 2022. In August, it was up 3.6% year over year and 6.6% month over month. While 2021 was a banner year for trucking, the contract and spot markets let me see. 2022 is so high that the pandemic contract couldn't haul it all, so shippers seeking capacity relied heavily on the spot market to fill the gaps. Consequently, spot rates surged, but that portion of the freight market has since cooled. Yeah, so I think, oh, wow. Oh, wait, there's more. Carriers dependent on spot freight face challenges. DAT has shown that there's a 43.8% year-over-year drop in spot loads in August, and analysts expect further spot challenges. There's way too many people that are overreading the T levels on the spot market and implying that there's a problem across the entire industry. And I do not believe that, said Bob Costello. What's happening is we're getting back to pre-pandemic levels between contract and spot freight. All right. Freight has softened a bit in months, although contract isn't necessarily growing at the same pace earlier. Pent-up demand still exists. And next year, it's definitely a good outlook for shippers. So again, I think what up to this point, for me, it's, and I kind of bring this up a lot. And if I'm a broken record at this point, it's because it keeps coming up in new articles all the time. I think we need to focus on what freight is moving. And yes, so when the spot market is as low as it is in certain freight segments right now, contract, again, then this is what I was saying a few months ago, is why contracted rates were so high is because you bid it off of a percentage of what the spot market rate was off of the current year or the year prior. So again, if you're going to bid 2022 contract, it's going to be bid off of 2021 spot rates is what a lot of people do, because you want to find that balance to keep freight off the spot market. You want to find that consistency in the pricing and a rate that you can honor throughout the year. Hence why tender rejections are very, very low. They are very, very low because the contracts currently are paying exponentially higher than the spot market. Therefore, when that happens, when people honor the contracts, the spot market opportunities drop exponentially. Therefore, price on the spot market starts to drop exponentially. So what are we going to see in 2023? Because this is what it is. It's RFP season right now. People are bidding a reduced rate off of their contract because there is such a wide gap between the spot market and the contract that's out there right now that you're going to probably take a 15% cut off of, or I'm just going to hypothetically guess 15 to 20% cut off of your 2022 contracted rate is what you're going to bid for 2023, because you are going to be concerned about volume. All right. So this is what's going to happen. A lot of people are going to bid at volume out there. So they're going to cut rates. And then, so again, this is not going to look good in Q1 of next year. All right. This is going to be, I don't want to say it's going to be bad, but from an availability standpoint, people are going to reduce their rates. But what this is, the light at the end of the tunnel, is what this will cause is there will be an inflection point where your spot rates or your contracted rates are going to be very close to where the spot is, because when freight gets out there, it's going to slowly start to creep up the spot market. My guess is mid Q1 of next year is we're going to start to see a little bit of an increase out there on the spot market. Okay. And then what that causes is when that gets out there where it's close, people are going to start rejecting tenders because they're going to roll the fucking dice, right? They're going to roll the dice and see which market can they make more money on. Is it going to be the spot market, or is it going to remain in their contract? So generally speaking, Q1 overall has low freight volumes. So people accept pretty much damn near every tender. So early Q1 headlines are going to read lowest tender rejection rate of all time ever recorded. And that is because freight volumes will be reflected of that. And people are just accepting everything that they can because they need to move freight. All right. Then at some point, my guess, Freight Coach Adamus' guess, is it's going to be July or August of next year is when you will start to see that in that balance where the spot rates are damn near as close to the contracted rates, because the spot rates are going to start to rise inevitably. And then that's when the tender rejections are going to pick up. Like I'm guessing late next year, the headlines are going to read, tender rejections are reaching historic highs as carriers shift focus to spot market. Mark my words. By that time, I'll have a Jamie like Joe Rogan has, and I got fucking receipts for all this stuff. All right? That's what I'm calling. Now, obviously, a lot of this is predicated on our overall geopolitical and economic standing in that time. Another plug for you guys to get out there and vote today. If you're not happy with your current standings and inflation and everything else, go out there and vote the motherfuckers out who have agreed to these policies that put us here. So again, importance of voting. But back to this. That's my guess. All right? I'm not going to lay everything on the line and say that this is the way it's going to be. I don't have a fancy chart because I can't point in one direction or the other. But just, there's my fancy charts, straight down or straight up, because that seems to be the narrative out there. But again, that's just my assumption based off of my experience in the industry as a whole. That article, you guys, is from ttnews.com. It was a pretty good article overall. It had a lot of great information. There's some solid insight from multiple data sources. And that's what I love. There isn't a one-size data for everyone. I like to read multiple data sources and read multiple outlets to formulate my own perspective that's out there. So a clouded outlook for global freight. And again, you guys, I put the links to all the articles I break down on the Freight Coach YouTube channel, as well as the Coffee with the Freight Coach audio only podcast, where I put all the links out there, you guys, because I want you to do your own research. And if you're going to jump over to those other platforms, do your boy a solid, subscribe while you're there and share it out there if you see value. I appreciate that. Barry Wimberly, by Q2, rates will drastically raise because so many carriers will be going out of business. I hope that's not the case, Barry, but I see your point in there. I'm not arguing that. When I say I hope that's not the case, I mean, I hope carriers aren't going out of business. I really hope that people can rein it in and eke by and stay in business here in Q1 and Q2 of next year. All right, next article. JOC, my man Bill Cassidy wrote this one. JOC truckload capacity index dipped in Q3, but demand remains robust. Capacity at some of the largest carriers dropped slightly in Q3, but retained close to its highest level in more than 10 years. The third quarter was the fourth consecutive period that the JOC's truckload capacity index remained above 90, a rating previously had not been that high since the first quarter of 2008, indicating strong demand for high volume contractual truckload service. JOC index, which measures capacity on actual truck counts at large publicly owned truckload carriers, dropped to 92.8 in the third quarter, down from 93.2 in Q2. And the index first topped 90 in the Q4 of 21 at 91.2 and fell to 91.1 in there. Small carriers, beset by high fuel prices and low transactional spot rates, are not faring as well as their large counterparts, and that may be fueling the shift in the truckload sector. And let me see here. Split between different types. Companies in this index own their assets as opposed to primary owner operators. I'm just summarizing a lot of this stuff, you guys. Year over year, the capacity index rose 3.6 percentage points. Those equipment deliveries are continuing in the fourth quarter. And we expect our end of year truck count to be 100 to 200 trucks higher than the 8580 at the end of third quarter. And that is what Derek Leathers is all over the news right now. JB Hunt added 52 trucks to its one-way truckload highway division and had 667 more trucks as a whole. And then JB Hunt cannot get enough new trucks, even though we're adding a third OEM, original equipment manufacturer, to our mix to help us with this. We're going to have it solved as we see demands going forward. And then, yeah, so again, you guys, it is where we are is this is like a massive cooling off is what it looks like, but volume is still up as a whole. And that's like the number that I want us to really focus in on is freight volumes are up. Yes, they're starting to stabilize in that regard. But I think that from an opportunities perspective, if we are very much honing in, again, what information can I do with this? If you're building your book of business as a carrier right now, I would identify the most profitable lanes that you can possibly run. It might look different. You know, if you're located in Houston, Texas, you could probably do 2 to 3 local turns a day and get about $1,000 a day and drive a total of like 75 miles. All right. those opportunities are out there. It just looks a little bit different. We just got to rein that in. I mean, identify where the profitable lanes are for you to run that have some cost-effective fuel pricing that's out there. Again, get some software. If there's got to be some software out there for an owner operator to plug in a lot of this information. Head up Trucker Tools. I'm sure they have some stuff out there for you. But again, you guys, let's try and look at that. If we're hanging out in the spot market as a whole and that's not paying off right now, can you go to that broker and have that conversation? Or hell, brokers, I will challenge you this. All right. If you have a carrier who has been performing exponentially well for you, A, you should have never fucking reduced their rate to begin with. But B, what can you do to pay them to increase your volume? Because again, consistency is the only thing that matters with our shippers. If you want to grow your book of business with your customers, continuously execute upon it. So what can you pay that carrier that's out there to remain profitable over these next 3 to 6 months? All right. Think about that long-term play. All of my carriers that I work with in my brokerage, that's what it's all about. There isn't a lot of negotiation because I want to keep them running because I know long-term as a broker, I only make my money in volume. Those days, like the completely audacious numbers that are out there that brokers somehow make 25 or 30% on loads is very, very fucking inflated because it's highly competitive. I'm not saying that there aren't lanes out there where you can make money on, but that's not industry standard. I guarantee you that's not industry standard. That article, joc.com, truckload capacity index dipped, but demand remains robust. And just to kind of tie up the top of this here, and fleetowner.com, Class 8 orders robust again in October, excuse me. And you saw that from the last article, JB Hunt has added a third OEM on so they can try and fill some of those truck orders. Because that's the thing is, I've talked to a couple of truck dealers that are out there and they're essentially given like an allotment right now. It used to be you could sell as much as you could sell, but they're essentially given an allotment. And if those 25 trucks, for example, are sold, then they got to wait from the manufacturer to see how many more they can get. And these trucks are just rolling off. And that obviously a lot of companies have had to settle for buying used equipment over these last couple of years. So it's like if they get an opportunity to buy a new truck, they're going to buy a new truck on that. So that's where you're going to probably start to see some of the used truck prices start to drop as a whole. The strength in orders that are out there as that OEMs have opened their order boards in 2023 more broadly. And that the data for October, that Class 8 orders of 42,500 units are classified as robust. Net orders in October continue to solidify the notion that there remains a tremendous amount of pent-up replacement demand in the market. For the used truck market, that's going to help. If people are out there buying new trucks, unless they plan on buying new ones and then holding on to their old ones, which again, I don't know what the strategy would be in that, but generally speaking, I'm assuming they're going to start flooding the market with more used equipment, and that's going to help drop the prices down on that as a whole. It was elevated in October, and it's actually down 23% from September's record surge out there. And but orders are still up 77% year over year compared to this time in 2021. Class 8 orders now total 271,000 trucks in the last 12 months, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, you guys, again, that's it for today. That article was from Fleet Owner. Class 8 orders robust again in October, which is a good sign that people are still spending money on this and they're investing. Yes, it's probably at the large fleet level that's happening on. But again, that can help you out if you're a smaller company, that some of these larger fleets are going to start getting rid of liquidating some of their assets. And that might get you to some relief there on this used market as well, if that's going to be your strategy with it. But that's it for today, you guys. The Freight Coach Morning Show. We are the top morning show in transportation. If you saw value in what we just talked about, you guys, share the show. That's all I can ask at the end of the day, because if you guys see value in it, chances are your network's going to see value in it as well. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and we'll be talking to you soon.